You'll need to grab a light jacket for the start of the day, but the afternoons this week, those are going to be quite warm. Definitely won't need the jacket for those. I'll have the details on how warm we'll be coming up.
And a weekend crash at a Central Georgia racetrack leaves several hurt. How one witness describes the night and how you're reacting online.
Plus, a man still on the run following a robbery at a Macon restaurant. How you can help Bibb County deputies find him.
For today's Mental Health Monday, we're talking job loss. I spoke with experts for tips on how to get through this time.
Well, good morning and happy Monday. You are looking live over a beautiful start to the day in downtown Macon. Time is 6:31 on this February 28th. I'm Caitlin Heck.
And I'm Wanya Reese. Look at Macon, Caitlin, looking all nice and fine this Monday morning.
Oh, showing out on the last day of February. Hopefully March is going to look just as beautiful, Courtney.
It is going to be a really wonderful week. I personally love when sunrises have some extra cloud cover around like this. I feel like it just adds an extra element to the start of the day. You can see that sun trying to peek through just the little cracks in the cloud here, but overall a really, stunning start to the day. And temperatures are nice as well. 51 in the city of Macon. Area-wide, generally upper 40s and low 50s. We're at 50 in Warner Robins, 53 in Montezuma, 49 in Roberta, 46 in Thomaston, 49 in Wrightsville, and 52 down in McRae. So you might need a light jacket for the start of the day. I know I personally did coming on in. Now we do have a light breeze to work with, wind anywhere between 3 to 10 miles per hour, and we will keep a breeze 5 to 10 throughout the day today. Overall, a really nice and pleasant afternoon will be on the way. Now that our cold front is to our south, you can see rain along it in parts of South Georgia and over near the Jacksonville area, and we could maybe manage to have a stray shower for the morning south of Macon, but otherwise we'll start to see a decrease in cloud cover through the day with temperatures in the low 60s. This is the coolest day of the week. Temperatures only go up from here. I'll let you know how warm we're going to be. That's in my full forecast in a few minutes.
This is a crazy start to the season. I will say that. It's the first time I've ever, had something start this early.
Well, it started as a night of practice to prepare for this year's racing season at Cochran Motor Speedway. Ended with a crash and several people hurt.
The accident happened Saturday night. Now, the Cochran Motor Speedway website advertised an open practice night for the Battlefield Series. This morning, we still do not know what led up to the crash. Speedway owner Chris Martin says he will release more information sometime this week, but wants to be sure he has accurate details.
Now, he says there were no life-threatening injuries. He also told us that he and his son were both hurt in the accident, but they're okay too. Patricia Smith was at the event and says she's been going to that racetrack since she was a kid, and this is one of the scariest things she has seen in a long time.
It makes me feel a little nervous. It kind of makes you stop and think about, okay, maybe I need to be more aware of my surroundings, but you want to get up close and personal, but yet, like I said, you got to be smart about it at the same time.
Got to be careful.
Definitely. Earlier on Saturday, the track posted on Facebook that the new state regulations prohibited spectators in the infield area and that the new rules were being enforced.
Now, we don't know where people stood when they got hit or whether they were there as track workers with the race teams or as spectators. We'll update this story on air and online as we learn more. Now, this morning, we're taking a closer look at your reaction to the news of the crash. Sarah says she was there and it was absolutely horrifying. Cynthia says she was also at the practice event and it was one of the most terrifying accidents she has ever seen. She's praying for all those involved.
Tony says her husband was one of the people who got hurt and they are just thankful for all of the prayers. She says their racing family showed up Saturday night and they are thankful to each and every one of them. She requests that you continue to keep everyone in your thoughts and prayers as they recover. The time is 6:34. Now let's catch you up on 3 other headlines we're following for you this morning. Washington County investigators continue to look into a shooting that left one man hurt over the weekend. It happened overnight Friday into Saturday on Ivy Drive. The sheriff's office says someone shot a 27-year-old man, but he should be okay. Investigators found a couple of homes and several cars damaged by gunshots. They also recovered nearly 24 shell casings. Deputies believe a drive-by shooting appears to have caused that damage.
And the Bibb County Sheriff's Office investigating an aggravated assault. They say they're looking for this man on your screen. Take a look in connection with the assault. Investigators did not say what happened or if anyone was hurt. They do not know the man's name, but someone last saw him driving a red vehicle. The Sheriff's Office says the assault happened at the Shell gas station on Talmaston Road around 2 this morning. And right now, Bibb deputies are also looking for a man after an armed robbery at a Macon restaurant. The Sheriff's Office says it happened just before 10 Saturday night at the Codtail on Gray Highway. They say a man with a gun went into the restaurant, demanded money from an employee, and then ran away after getting some cash. No one got hurt, but if you have any information on this case or the aggravated assault, you can call Macon Regional Crime Stoppers. The number is 1-877-68-CRIME. Again, 1-877-68-CRIME. And now to news from across the state. A juvenile now faces a murder charge following the deadly shooting of a 9-year-old Atlanta boy. It
happened last week at an apartment in southeast Atlanta. Family identified the victim. You see him there on your screen as Kamani Mack. Police say on Saturday investigators were able to establish probable cause and secured arrest warrants against a juvenile boy for murder in the second degree, along with several other charges. Police previously said that the person who fired the shot was 16 years old. This morning, DeKalb County investigators are still working to figure out what led up to a shooting that killed a 4-year-old little boy. This morning, DeKalb County police investigate. Authorities say it happened around 5 yesterday afternoon while the boy was in a car with a family member in a Publix parking lot. The 4-year-old went to the hospital where he later died. Investigators believe the shooting was accidental, but they're still looking into the circumstances around it.
A new week, new gas prices. Numbers from AAA this morning show a 13-cent increase at the pump since this time last week. Right now, Georgians are paying an average of $3.50 a gallon for regular gas, so it costs nearly $53 to fill a 15-gallon tank. AAA says the most expensive metro markets in Georgia are in Fort Stewart, Savannah, and Augusta. The least expensive, Rome, Dalton, and right here in central Georgia in Warner Robins. AAA says brace yourselves, though, because prices could go up even more if the Russia-Ukraine conflict continues. And while you spend green at the pump, you'll soon be seeing a lot of that color filling the city of Savannah. Leaders there are moving ahead with plans to bring back the city's St. Patrick's Day parade. This comes after a 2-year pause because of the pandemic. But you will notice some changes this year. Savannah City Council voted last week to withhold permits for outdoor concerts and beer vendors that in the past had been used to hold a multi-day St. Patrick's Day festival on the downtown riverfront. The city will also deny parking permits for out-of-town party buses. Savannah's mayor says their overall goal is to make St. Patrick's Day more family-friendly and spread the profits among more local businesses. Well, you may soon be able to taste some craft whiskeys made in downtown Macon. Today, Bibb County's Planning and Zoning Board will talk about whether to allow a micro distillery to open up on 2nd Street. Based on the application submitted to the board, the property would be turned into a distillery with a tasting room that would be open to the public.
Planning and Zoning will also talk about whether to allow a re-entry home for former prisoners to open on Cavalier Drive. In July last year, the board told the owners of the building that they had to wait at least 6 months to discuss rezoning again. The executive director of the board at the time, Jim Thomas, said the state requires 2 public hearings and a decision within 3 months after that for this type of rezoning. One of the partners in the proposal, Bob Flinklin, told Mercer Center for Collaborative Journalism they plan to house 8 men who serve time as nonviolent offenders. Planning and Zoning meets at 1:30 this afternoon. Starting today, the Warner Robins Fire Department will begin its annual hydrant testing throughout the international city. The fire department warns the flowing hydrants will likely cause residue to stir up in water lines. If you see dirty or cloudy water, they recommend letting the water flow for a few minutes to clear the line. They also say to wait several hours after the testing or run an empty wash cycle before doing your laundry. Looking ahead to tomorrow at 6:38 in Houston County, you will find out more about Robins Air Force Base and its progress and plans for the future. Base leaders will meet at the Kerry Martin Conference Center for the 2022 State of the Base. They say this annual event serves as a platform for mission partners at Robins to share their priorities and the base's economic impact on the community. It happens at 11:30 tomorrow morning.
And progress is exactly what Bibb County leaders hope to make on an amphitheater project around the Macon Mall. Last week, the county broke ground on the 10,000-seat venue. This week, Bibb leaders want to hear from you on its design. The county will hold 2 public input sessions on Thursday. They're happening at the Macon Mall on the bottom floor near the food court. One runs from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., the other from 4 to 7. You'll be able to view renderings, site diagrams, and some early floor plans. All right, the time is now 6:39. I am looking forward, Courtney, to a week of higher temperatures, really feeling like spring is here finally.
Yes, it'll be so pleasant. And I feel like with the warmer weather, that just gets you excited for all of the events that are to come in spring, like the Cherry Blossom Festival that is really just right around the corner, and tons of events. I know that Caitlin and I, one of our personal favorite events, Food Truck Friday in Perry, is going to start up again. We're excited about that one. All right, everybody. And yes, hopefully the weather can cooperate like it is going to this week. It'll really be beautiful. Now, yesterday we topped out at 66 degrees. So notice we were right on par with the average high temperature for this time of year, the record 82. And guess what? that is where we're going to head as we head into the second half of the week. Something else to point out that a lot of people might enjoy, the days are getting longer, and soon we're going to have to spring forward. I think that's on March 13th, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, the days are going to continue to get longer with those later sunsets, which the morning team, if you ask us, we're maybe not a fan of because our bedtime is so early. But I know a lot of you at home enjoy those later days, especially all of the kids who have to come back inside when it gets dark outside. Those longer days are nice. Right now you're looking live on top of the Fred Roberts building in Dublin. A quiet morning out there. We have a really thick layer of clouds on this morning. We call these kinds of clouds stratocumulus clouds. I know a lot of students, you're learning your clouds in your weather class right now, or your science class is weather, because I've been talking to a lot of you in a lot of these schools. So there was your test this morning. Stratocumulus clouds for the start of the day. 52 in the city of Dublin, 50 in Warner Robins, 51 in Macon, 52 in Montezuma, 50 in Milledgeville, 49 in Wrightsville, and it looks like we're at 46 in Thomaston. So you might just need a light jacket for the morning. Now our cold front to our south, you can see a few showers lingering on just to our south towards the Waycross, Georgia area and down towards Jacksonville, Florida. We could maybe have a stray shower this morning, so if you're in places like Wilcox, Telfair, Wheeler, Montgomery County, if you experience a quick passing shower, wouldn't be completely surprised, but for the most part, you're going to walk out to those mostly cloudy or overcast conditions for the start of the day. Good news is, though, we'll see a decrease in cloud cover through the afternoon. It'll end up being a really pleasant and mild day. Low 60s. We'll stay in the 50s, though, as we head through the early afternoon. We'll hit the low 60s, I think, as we head closer to 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon when we hit our high temperature. Now, speaking of high temperatures, those are only going to get warmer. In fact, the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook I personally enjoy, well above average being 67. This takes us into March 9th. And we are going to be above average through the rest of the week after today. We'll be in the mid 70s Wednesday and then low 80s by Friday, and that will continue through the weekend. Why is that? Well, we have a dip in the jet stream right now that's bringing in that cooler air, but we'll have quite the opposite as we head into the second half of the week. A very strong ridge of high pressure that creates a warming trend is going to build in, blocking any of that cold air from spilling into central Georgia. What does that mean? That also means we're going to be dry. So while we could use some measurable rainfall, that doesn't look to be on the way this week. We're going to be warm and dry. Your 7-day looks like this. Low 60s today, and then we are only up from there temperature-wise. We'll be in the mid 70s by Wednesday, 80s by Friday. We'll have lots of sunshine. The mornings, though, you'll probably still need a light jacket for us. We'll generally stay in the 40s and 50s.